In last class, we studied about production function. Production function is the functional relation between input and output. We studied which are the inputs. Okay, today we can study some numerical example of production function. Okay, here you can see production function. Here two factors of production are there. Which are the factors of production? Labor and capital. Okay, in this column we can see, in this column you can see the capital, and in left column, in that row you can see the here you can see the labor. Okay, then now we can study how this labor and capital relation leading to production. Okay, when capital increase, as we move to the right along any row, capital increases. As we move down in any column, labor increases. Okay, here means here you can see when we are moving right capital column, that time we can see capital increases. In this row you can see labor increases. Okay, in this column. Okay, here you can see this column, you can see in this column labor increase. First 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, labor increases. And here you can see this column. Okay, this column you can see the capital, means this row, you can see this row, and in this row you can see the capital increases like 0, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 like that. You can see the values. Okay, means here capital increases and here it is the labor increases. Okay, then when capital is 0, that time you can see here labor also 0, that time production also 0. Okay, then in this this column capital is same, that time we are in each stage we are increasing the labors. Okay, means from 0 we are increasing to 1. Okay, capital is 0, we are increasing the labors to 1, then that time also production is same. What is the production? 0. What is the reason? Because capital is 0, nothing land, nothing asset, nothing machine. Then on labor without anything, how he can produce? Suppose he is a farmer, he should have some land. Otherwise, if he is a tailor, he should have some tailoring machine or something like that he need. Without capital, it's not possible to produce anything. Okay, then here you can see, in this one you can see labor is 2, that time also capital is 0. Sorry, capital is 0, that time production is 0. What is the reason? Because capital is 0. Here you can see labor is 3, that time capital is 0 and production also 0. In this column you can see when labor is 6, that time you can see the production also 0. Means when the capital is 0, that time production is not possible. Okay, then we can increase the capital to 1. That time we can see when capital is 1, that time capital is there, land is there, no labors, then production will be 0. Okay, then next step, when capital is 1, labor is 1, that time producer can produce one output. Okay, only one output. Suppose a tailor, one tailoring machine is there and one tailor is there, he can produce only one product. Okay, now he increase 2 labors. Means suppose if it is a tailor, one labor is cutting and another labor is doing stitching. Okay, then now production increased to 3. Now he increased it to 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. When it is 6, that time production became 13. Means when the number of labor increased, that time production also increased. Okay, when it became 6, that time output also became 13. Okay, then next one, when capital is 2, that time you can see labor is 0 means output also 0. Labor is 1 means it is 3 output. Then next, when it is 2, it is 10. When it is 3, that time it is 18. And when it is 4, that time it is 24. And when it is 5, that time it is 29. And when labor is 6, that time it is 33. Okay. Means with the increase in labor, producer can produce more quantity of output. Means when producer is increasing capital or labor. Here you can see here producer increases the capital to 3. That time production also increasing. Labor when it is 1, that time when capital is 1, that time producer was getting only 1 output. Here you can see producer is getting 7 output. But what is the reason? Because here capital is 3. If in the case of stitching machine, now machine is stitch, machine is 3, that time consumer can make more product. Okay, here you can see 4, when capital is 4, that time also we can see here values like 10, 24 means when capital increasing or labor increasing, that time production also increasing. Okay, here when it became 6, that time you can see when it is labor is 1, that time production is 13, output is 13. When it is 4, it is 57. When it is 6 labor and 6 capital, okay, then it is 60. Okay, here when labor is 5 and capital is 6, that time it is output is 59. Okay, then we can understand, we move any row or column, we can increases or labor increases or capital increases, means we can increase the production also. Okay, here we can see the values. Here you can see the diagram. In that you can see isocount. What is isocount? We studied indifference curve. What is indifference curve? It is a set of possible combination of two goods. Okay, same like that in production, there we taken two goods like apple or banana. Instead of that one, here we are taking in x-axis we are taking labor, and in the y-axis we are taking the capital. Okay, then what is isocount? Isocount is the set of all possible combination of two inputs that yields the same maximum level of output. Here you can see in this diagram, this one, here you can see the points here. First one is K1 and this is the K2. Okay, this is K1 and this is K2. Okay, when it is K1, that time K means capital. Capital means we already studied what are the capitals we are using for a production. Land we will use, machines we will use, these things we are calling as capital. In this x-axis we are measuring the labors. Okay, in case of indifference curve, in this x-axis we will take one good and another good in the y-axis. Same like that, in isocount what we are doing means we are taking the two factors of production. Which are the two factors of production? Labor and capital. Okay, when capital is K1, that time labor is L2. Okay, then when capital is K2, that time labor is L1. Means consumer can produce, producer can produce, when it is this much mean he can produce this much quantity of output. When K2 means capital is K2, that time he can use L1 and he can produce this much. Suppose capital means he have, suppose one producer, he have 1000 rupees of income. Within that 1000 rupees of budget, we studied in consumers, that one we studied as budget. Here also that producer have some limitation. He have some money like 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, like that. Some money is there. Within that only he can produce that goods. Okay. Then producer is using K2O capital and L1 of labor, and he can produce this much of output. Otherwise he can choose K1 of capital and L2 of labor. Means this, he is leaving this much of capital and he is spending that money for labor. Okay. Then he can produce this much quantity, but these all the points are giving equal production, means same quantity only producing. Okay. Then here 10 units can be produced in 3 ways: 4 labor and 1 capital, or 2 labor or 2 capital, or 1 labor or 4 capital. All these combination of labor and capital lie on the same isocone, which represent the same level of output. We can see this is the same level of isocone. In this isocone, it's showing as 10 units of output. If producer is choosing this level or any level producer choosing also, he will get 10 unit of output in this isocone. In this isocone, he will get 10 units of output. In that level, if consumer is choosing like this option also, he will get 10 units of output, or this option also he will get 10, or this option also he will get 10. Any points in this isocone will give same quantity. Okay. But he can change, he can spend more money for labor and he can reduce the capital. Like that he can change his factors of production. Okay. Then here in isocone we are studying about set of all possible combination of 2 inputs that yield the same maximum possible level of output. Okay. Then in isocone, if producer have more money, means he can go to next. Suppose this is his limitation is 500 in this isocone. Now he have more income, 1,000 rupees, means he can go to next level. That time he can produce more quantity. Okay. Otherwise he can go to another level, third level. Here suppose if it is 20, in this level he can produce 20 units. In this isocone, what is the reason? Because here capital also increasing, labor also increasing. Then in this isocone he can produce more than second isocone. Okay. Then if we fix capital K1 and increase the labor to L3, then quantity will be same. Okay. Or if the capital is K2 and labor is L1 also, if it is in same isocone, then the output will be the same. Okay. Because of this reason only, this isocone is sloping downwards. Like indifference curve, what the consumer is doing, he is leaving on product and he is going for another one. Same like that, this one also, producer is leaving on product and factors of production, and he is going for another factors of, here you can see K1, he is leaving this much of capital and he is choosing labor. Then he is living on product and he is going for another one. Because of this one, isocones are negatively sloped. Okay, because of this marginal product are positive. Because of this reason, these isocones are sloping downwards.